What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger, man. First things first, thank God for giving us another day, another opportunity. Thank y'all for clicking on today's video. And if it's your first time, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Now, anybody who wants to join the Rich Gang family, man, be sure to go ahead and turn on post notifications because I'm uploading every single day. If you go ahead and hit that like button, can we go ahead and get at least 50 likes on this video? Be sure to go ahead and share it with your family and friends. Sit back and relax. And last, but definitely not least, go ahead and comment down below. Where are you tuning in from? Now, I'm going to go ahead and drop my area coming out of Salinas, California, man. Let's go ahead and get back into the making of this build. So as y'all can see by the looks of the title and the screen, today I am bringing y'all the first ever most broken contact dunks on a prospect build on NBA 2K22 current gen. So with this build, yes, we have finally been able to make a prospect build that's going to be usable, and honestly, this is not a bad build. Once you look at what it's going to be able to do, I'm telling you, the stats, the attributes, and the animations are put together very well, and especially considering what kind of takeovers that we're going to be able to get on this build, very solid. Now, as we do go along, just please be sure to make sure that you're following along with all of the stats that I put down, because if you do change anything, I'm telling you, that is risking changing the build name. That's the last thing that I want happening to y'all. So let's go ahead and get into the making. If you were paying attention, we did pick the pie chart, split it right down the middle with the shooting and the finishing. Then from there, I did go with the first physical profile, and we ended up with a 68 speed and a 64 vertical. Now, as we do go ahead and get into the breakdown of this build, man, I'm telling you, you're really going to be able to see what this build is going to be able to do. So on the finishing end, I did go with a 69 close shot, 74 driving layup, 75 driving dunk, 50 standing dunk, and an 88 post hook. Now you might be wondering, how are we going to be able to get the contact dunks with a 75 driving dunk? Now hold on real quick. This build is made out of the power forward, which means the height right now is at around 6'9 or 6'8, y'all. Possibly even 6'10, but once we go ahead and drop the height, that's what's going to be able and allow us to get the contact dunks. When it comes down to the shooting, I'm going to go with 74 for the mid-range, 71 for the three-pointer, 59 for the free throw, and an 87 post fade. Then, once we go ahead and get into the playmaking, skip over the pass accuracy, but then max out both your ball handle and the post control. Now, for the defensive end, go with the 69 interior defense. The highest perimeter defense you can go with to get the same build name is going to be a 56, but you can max out your lateral quickness. Go with a steal of 45, 73 for the block, and a 75 defensive rebound. Now, once it comes down to what we're going to be looking like on this build, all around 13 finishing badges, 16 shooting, 10 playmaking, with 7 defensive. Now, something that I would really have y'all consider, think about unlocking the extra badge points from each season. If you are one of those season grinders, you're going to be able to get a few extra badge points put towards this build, which in my opinion makes it that much more better. Then once we go ahead and get into the body shape, now if you want to take up the most space for defensive purposes, go with burly or built. For my liking, I'm going to go with defined. Then once it comes down to the height, go with 6'7". Now we did get a huge boost not only towards our main stats on the left, but also our physicals on the right. Now once we go ahead and take a look at the weight, I'm going to go with 187. Now you can go with the lowest if you want to, but if you do go with 187, you're going to get a 1 tick boost on your interior defense. Anything higher than this, it's going to take a hit to your speed as well as your main stats. And then finally, to get all of the contact dunks, go with a wingspan of 89.0. And right here, as you can see, that gives us an 81 driving dunk, which means at 99 overall on this build, we're going to be able to not only get the contact dunks, but we're going to be able to get some huge boosts out of this build. Consider adding boost towards the shooting, running with teammates that do have floor general and defensive leader, and adding in a takeover. Now I'm going to give y'all a little spoiler. The takeovers that we're able to unlock on this build are going to be the sharpshooting as well as the post scoring. So we have the potential to get into the 90s with our shooting, but also into the 90s with our post scoring, depending on which takeover you do pick. So to be more unique and to be more of an all-around build, when it comes down to the inside, I would definitely recommend the post scoring. But if you're looking to be more of a comp type build as well as be more effective, I would have to say the sharpshooting is the takeover that I would go with, because this is going to push our shooting stats into the 90s range, especially with adding boost and hitting 99 on this build. Let's go ahead and check out the build name, and as y'all can see, we were able to create together the one and only most rare prospect build, and I'm telling you, this build is definitely usable, especially with what it comes with, and considering we will be able to speed boost on this build if you are running with the correct teammates, and if you do grind this build out to a 99 overall. Now that's what we're going to go ahead and do next. Let's go ahead and check out what the stats are going to be looking like on this build. So remember, we have a few different areas to look at. First, we're going to get that gym rat and hit 99 on this build, which gives us a +4 all around to our physicals and our main attributes. So essentially, when it comes down to the physicals, we're going to get an 89 speed, 87 acceleration, and a 78 vertical. Now, if you were to add regular boost by buying them for this build, as well as running with teammates that do have floor general and defensive leader, that is a +12 to our finishing, shooting, playmaking, and defensive end without being in takeover. So essentially, the takeovers are what is really going to put this build over the top with being able to compete with builds in a similar nature. Now, the best thing about this build is the versatility between what we're going to be able to do on both ends of the floor. So for the defensive end, since we only have 7 badges currently unlocked, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I'm spreading the wealth. So the badges that I normally like to run on a lot of my main builds is going to be Intimidator on gold for sure, or Hall of Fame if you can get it for any other build. Then I'm going to go with Silver Rim Protector as well as Silver Clamps, or you can go with Rebound Chaser. Now, to spread the wealth just a little bit more, I would go with Silver Intimidator, so that way I'm able to add on Bronze, Chase Down Artist, or Rebound Chaser. Now from here, once we go ahead and get into the playmaking, this is where you got to be very specific with which badges that you do decide to take on. So for my liking, I would say 2 essential badges are going to be Hyperdrive as well as Quick Chain. Now, from here, I was really thinking of going with Unpluggable as well as Bullet Passer, but let's just go ahead and say that you want to go ahead and make sure that when it comes down to the dribbling on this build, you're getting the max and full potential of it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do instead is you could either go with Quick First Step or throw on Bullet Passer. If you want to spread the wealth and change the tiers of any of the badges, you definitely can do that as well. Now from the shooting and the finishing area, what I'm going to go ahead and make sure of and remind y'all is we are able to get Hall of Fame badges in this area. So we get 3 total Hall of Fame badges that we're going to be able to use for the finishing. So the first one that I really feel like everybody has to go ahead and put on, and that's going to be Posterizer, of course. From here, you definitely have a few badges that you can go ahead and put on that are going to really correlate with this badge as well. I'm going to go with Limitless Takeoff, and then the final one that I would go with on a Hall of Fame tier would not be Back Down Punisher unless you did pick that post scoring takeover. I really like how Fearless Finisher works out when it comes down to when it's activated. That's just basing it off of my preference. I would recommend you try it out as well, but I'm going to go with finally Bronze Unstrippable. That means we're going to go ahead and finish it off with the shooting area and a total of 16 badges as well. So from here, I do like to spread the wealth. Essentially, only reason why I like to do that is because I want to be able to get the best shooting percentages and the best boost out of the badges that I could put on. So I'm going to go with Hot Zone Hunter on Hall of Fame, Silver Corner Specialist as well as Deadeye. Then you cannot forget about Bronze Green Machine as well as Volume Shooter. Then for the last couple of badges, I'm going to go with Hall of Fame Sniper, then silver blinders, and this is essentially what the build is going to be looking like when it's made based off of my preference. If you do see any other badge counts that you would go with, go ahead and let me know, but this is a setup of 13 finishing badges, 16 shooting, 10 playmaking, and 7 defensive. But man, if you did make it to the end, I appreciate y'all, I love y'all, and I thank y'all. And man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Go ahead and turn on post notifications because I'm uploading every single day, and you definitely want to go ahead and join the Rich Gang family. Can we go ahead and get at least 50 likes on this video? If any of y'all enjoyed, go ahead and hit that like button right now. Be sure to comment down below, where are you tuning in from today? Share this video with your family and friends, and with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Thank you, God, for another opportunity. Thank y'all for clicking on today's video, and Rich out.